Released as part of the new Soviet forces for Red Thunder, this is the BTR-60 company box set from Battlefront. The BTR-60 is an armoured infantry transport used in some motor rifle divisions instead of BMPs. If we have a look at the back of the box, we can see this box contains 5 plastic BTR-60s, 1 tank commander sprue, a decal sheet and 5 unit cards. There's an image of a completed vehicle and an exploded assembly diagram. If we look inside the box, here are the unit cards. There are 2 BTR-60 transport cards. These are for Volksarmee and Red Banner, so you can field these for East Germans as well as Soviet forces. Then there are 2 motor rifle company cards, one for infantry and the other for heavy weapons. The infantry card has the weapon stats for AK-74 rifle teams, RPG-7 anti-tank teams, and PKM light machine gun teams. The heavy weapons are the AGS-17 automatic grenade launcher, AT-4 spiral anti-tank guided missile team, and the SA-14 Gremlin anti-aircraft missile team. The last unit card is for the BTR-60 Motor Rifle Battalion HQ with stats for an AK-74 assault rifle team. The commander sprue has 6 figures in hard plastic in a variety of poses. The decal sheet has a number of white tactical number markings in a couple of sizes, plus some Guards Division emblems. But now let's have a look at the plastic. There are 5 of these sprues in the box, moulded in medium green plastic. This is a simple kit with just 10 parts for the main assembly. If we have a look at the upper hull here, there is good, strong detail with crisp, sharply defined edges. There's good engine grille detail and the commander's position is moulded open. The lower hull doesn't have much detail, but you can see there is keying for the wheel assemblies to make sure they go on the right way. The wheel assemblies themselves have the 4 wheels for each side mounted on a bar as a single piece. This is a nice bit of simple engineering to keep the kit simple and avoid having to glue individual wheels to the vehicle. The bar is also chamfered to try and set the right angle for this piece when you attach it to the hull. Make sure you press it in firmly to mate the bar and the hull together tightly. The turret is 3 pieces, the turret peg and the 14.5mm KPVT heavy machine gun and mantlet. The 4 attachment points for the gun make cutting this part from the sprue without bending the barrel a tricky proposition, and there's only 1 gun provided, so take care. The last compulsory kit parts are the commander's hatch, bow splash guard, and the rear hull with the prominent water jet outlet for amphibious propulsion. Optional parts include a spare tyre, a stowage box, and a pair of jerry cans. So this is a pretty simple kit, but parts are well cast and well engineered, so it should build into a nice vehicle. Battlefront have supplied both a step-by-step assembly guide on the Team Yankee website and an assembly video. Links to these resources in the description below. Here's the completed BTR-60. It looks very nice. There's plenty of strong detail like hatches and other surface features well represented here. The butt joint of the upper and lower hull pieces leaves a possibility for gaps, which would show up at the front of the hull. Make sure you press these parts firmly while the glue dries to get the best result here. Let's look at some history. Mechanised infantry need transport to keep up with armoured formations, and Soviet post-war transporters like the BTR-152 and BTR-40 were basically armoured trucks. Their role was similar to the wartime half-tracks, providing infantry transport with light armour designed to stop small arms fire. However, these designs were open-topped and lacked amphibious capability. A number of wheeled designs were trialled, with the Gaz Bureau's design entering service as the BTR-60P in 1960. This was an open-topped but amphibious design with 4 wheels per side and carried a crew of 3, plus up to 16 infantry as passengers. This was replaced in 1963 by the BTR-60PA with an enclosed roof, reducing the passenger capacity to 14. Armament was initially a pintle-mounted light machine gun, but in 1965 the conical turret from the BRDM Scout car with a 14.5mm KPVT heavy machine gun was added. This further reduced the crew to 2 and the passenger capacity to just 8 troops. The crew compartment is mounted forward, with the troop compartment in the centre and the engines at the rear. The BTR-60 has 2 6-cylinder petrol engines that generate 180 horsepower, driving all 8 wheels. Keeping the engines synchronised is an ongoing maintenance issue for BTR crews. There's a water jet system for amphibious propulsion capable of moving the vehicle at about 10 kilometers an hour. This makes the BTR a popular choice for Soviet Marines and amphibious forces. The BTR is awkward to use, with infantry boarding and deploying through top or side hatches. There are a number of steps and handholds fitted to the vehicle. Later BTR designs moved the hatches lower on the hull. Infantry can fire from the moving vehicle through firing ports in the hull side. About 25,000 BTR-60s were produced and the vehicle was widely exported. The wheeled BTRs were more likely to be serving with Category B and reserve motor rifle regiments, with Category A units more usually equipped with a fully tracked BMP mechanised infantry combat vehicle. BMPs mounted anti-tank missiles and BTR regiments received an additional anti-tank company to make up for this difference. Regiments did not mix vehicles, being equipped with either BTRs or BMPs. BTR-60 started being replaced by the more capable BTR-70 in 1972 and the BTR-80 in 1986. However, the BTR-60 remains in service with many countries and has been developed and upgraded. So that's the BTR-60. Red Thunder uses the BTR-60 in the BTR-60 Motor Rifle Battalion, and they appear as support options in the T-64 and T-72 tank battalion lists. Let's look at the Team Yankee stats for the BTR-60 transport. So the BTR is a transport attachment for a motor rifle company. It's amphibious and can carry 2 infantry or weapon stands as passengers. Amphibious means the BTR can treat impassable water as difficult terrain. Courage is 4 with a morale of 3+ and a remount of 3+. Skill is a 5+, reflecting the conscript nature of Soviet troops, and that BTRs are often Category B formations. Assault is 5+ and counterattack is 4+. Volksarmy BTRs have a better skill rating, but are less likely to assault and stick around to counterattack. BTRs are hit on a 3+ and have front armour 1, side and top of 0. While they are armoured, it's thin armour, mostly proof against light small arms fire only. Tactical move is 10 inches or 25 centimetres and dash speeds are 10 inches or 25 centimetres through terrain, up to 36 inches or 90 centimetres on the road. Cross is a 4+, so try and keep BTRs out of terrain where possible. The 14.5mm KPVT machine gun has a 20-inch or 50cm range, with a halted rate of fire of 3 and moving of 2, AT5 and a 5+ firepower. There are no weapon notes here, so you can't use these guns against aircraft or helicopters. The 7.62mm PKT coaxial machine gun has a 16-inch or 40cm range, rate of fire 1 moving or halted, with an AT of 2 and a firepower of 6. So the BTR is a much less capable infantry transport than a BMP. So why would you take this? It comes down to points. 4 BTR-60, 3 RPG teams and 4 rifle teams just 5 points, while 11 BTRs, 1 light MG team, 9 RPG-7 teams and 10 rifle teams is just 15 points. That makes BTR motor rifle infantry a cheap way to add mobile infantry to a list, particularly as a support option or even a second formation for tank forces. So the BTRs from Red Thunder expand the range of options for Soviet forces, and are a cheap infantry alternative. Russian players can field a horde of them or cheaply add mobile infantry to a tank list. The drawback is that unlike BMPs, BTRs don't mount an anti-tank missile, and would have to deploy their AT-4 infantry teams before they can fire. But the BTR is a nice kit and builds up into an attractive model for the table. This is another great release from Battlefront, and some clever engineering here shows how far they've come as a plastic manufacturer. I hope you enjoyed a peek inside the box. Thanks to Battlefront for supplying the review copy.